Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury from the ArchieLuxury channel, the Paul Pluta channel, and ArchieLuxury Corporate. Guys, keep watching. Keep watching. I need the viewers. I need the viewers. I need the subs. I need it. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends, whether you like them or hate them. Just tell them anyhow. ArchieLuxury on YouTube. Hey guys, I'm ArchieLuxury, and today we're talking about Rolex, how it became the leader. And today I want to make the video, Omega pushed Rolex to success. What do I mean by that? Omega pushed Rolex. Now, Omega and Rolex, they have been kind of enemies, and they've had some interesting times. Omega, of course, after the Swiss crisis, the quartz crisis, they became reinvigorated by the Swatch Group. And I got to tell you what has happened. There was a number of things that one of the key factors that pushed Rolex to the front was Omega. And Omega doesn't want to help Rolex. They want to help themselves. But let's hear me out. The Swatch Group in the early 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, they dropped a bombshell. They dropped a massive bombshell which made Rolex the king that it is, the undisputed king. Swatch Group said they would be limiting supply of ETA/Valjoux movements to non-Swatch members. That's right. That single-handedly caused a massive ripple in the watch production area. Now, I got to tell you, before Swatch did this. Now, the reason Swatch did it is because they're a bunch of greedy sons of bitches. They're not really Swiss. They're a Lebanese Swiss family, okay? That's correct. They got greedy. They decided to say, hey, we're no longer, because Swatch Group owned ETA and Valjoux, they said, we're no longer going to be supplying non-Swatch members. Because for a long time, ETA and Valjoux movements were available to anyone at different levels. And this caused massive ripple. And it's still an issue that hasn't been solved yet. Before this happened, Rolex only took over the movement manufacturer, Aigner, in the early 2000s. Before that, they didn't even own it. Many Patek Philippe's, the complicated Patek Philippe's, they had Nouveau Lemania movements. That's correct. Lemania, which was actually owned by Swatch Group as well. Many watches. The famous 4-digit plastic Daytonas, the Paul Newman, guess what? That's got a Valjoux 772 or 77. Anyhow, it's a Valjoux movement. That's right, Valjoux movement. Manual wine Valjoux movement. It was quite acceptable for watchmakers not to make everything in-house. Breitling, they used a lot of ETA movements for a long time. Panerai, famous brands. If you go back to the late 90s, one brand that was really famous, was very popular in Japan, was Frank Muller. And Frank Muller, they used a lot of ETA movements. And this is the whole thing. Suddenly, because Swatch was just being assholes, it made people realize, hang on a minute, the movement is important. It shifted the spotlight. And the interesting thing is, Swatch did this. They're just assholes. Swatch did it just for their own. They didn't do it to help Rolex. They only help themselves. Guess what? It made people question the movement more. Brands like Breitling, it really caused trouble. Panerai, that was a Richmond company. Panerai. They had their own corporate greed. They're South Africans. Corporate greed. And Richmond, they own Cartier. They own a number of brands. They own Vacheron. They had their own stupid corporate things, stuffed things up. They did a number of mistakes with Panerai. Greed as well. But the focus, people started to think, oh, maybe the movements have sent huge ripples through the industry. And it hasn't really been solved yet. You've got Sellita. Oh, Sellita. Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Sellita is yuck, yuck, yuck. It's worse than ETA. So, you know, it's a copy. It's, rah, rah. You've got brands like IWC who were quite cool, and I gotta be honest with you, a brand like IWC, they would get an ETA movement, and their business model, small production, they would really do a lot of extra work to an ETA movement. They did a lot of work to it. They didn't just pump and dump. They actually did a fair bit of finishing and changing things, but the buzzword now was in-house movements, in-house. And that's completely changed the whole industry. It was Swatch's greed. Omega, Swatch Group really pushed Rolex to this massive success. If Swatch Group had not have done that, there is a chance people wouldn't have really cared what movements. If they said, well, look, guys, we're going to keep producing movements. Anyone who wants one, sure, we'll do it. They could have been really smart and said, well, we're going to have a new line of ETA super movements, super high quality. They could have done that, but they didn't. They just greedy sons of bitches. They decided to turn supply off. And inadvertently, they pushed Rolex to success. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. So guys, I really do think Omega propelled Rolex to the king in the watch industry. And I gotta tell you, I don't think Omega was trying to do that. No, Swatch Group was definitely not trying to help Rolex in any way. But because they pulled that rug out from the watch industry, the ETA and value movements no longer supplying a good, reliable Swiss workhorse to the industry, it really shone the spotlight on in-house, and it destabilized PAM. It destabilized many good brands there like IWC, Breitling. It destabilized a lot. It changed the focus, and it sort of adjusted the mentality. Prior to this, Frank Muller, which was a heavy user of ETA movements, was a top hot brand, Japan and Asia, and in a lot of countries. Panerai, you had brand IWC. Interestingly enough, a brand like Jaeger LeCoultre, which you would say, wow, in-house horology, surely that would help. Well, it hasn't. It's not fair. It's not fair. Brand like Zenith, you'd say, well, they invented the El Primero high beat automatic chronograph. Surely they would be, well, yes, unfortunately, that didn't help. So you've got to look at it. You got to look at it as an overall industry, and there are variables. It's kind of like Kaplunk, where you pull the pins out, the bars, the plastic pins out, and the marble falls. It kind of changes the mix, and it's a very interesting thing. It's very, very interesting. This is the world we live in. The thing is, now that Rolex is king, can somebody destabilize them? That is the question. I'm Paul Pluta. This is a video for the ArchieLuxury channel. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Hey guys, I've got some exciting promotion news for you. David SW's just sent me a press release. Archie, we just launched the new website this week, and we have a sale going on now until Monday with $375 off. If you can give me a plug, that will be great. David SW. I gotta tell you guys, if you want to buy a Rolex, if you want to buy a luxury wristwatch, where would I go? If I was in America, North America, where would I go? There's only one place I would go. David SW. He is one of the most trusted names in the wristwatch market. Forget building a relationship with your AD. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Forget licking the backside of your ADs, and that's just wasted time. My best advice is, if you are looking for a Rolex, if you're looking for a Rolex from an honest, good business, go to David SW. I gotta tell you honestly, I would say David SW. Happy Thanksgiving from David SW. Save $375. Cannot be used with any other promotion, fair enough. Jewelry discount is 10% for the duration of the promotion. Expires midnight on the 30th of the 11th. David SW, go and check out the new website. Go and see the bargains they've got. Guys, seriously, if you want a Rolex, make it happen. Forget AD waiting lists. Forget all that nonsense. Go to David SW. America's. This is the dealer I would go to. Don't waste your time buying, trying to get kudos from the AD. Go and see David SW with $375 off your purchase. This sale will not last. David SW, check out the new website. Tell me what you think, guys. I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear it from you guys. Tell me what you think of the new look David SW website. I tell you what, it's feature packed. It's got punch. I love the new video at the front. Man, David SW. I love you, David SW. I trust you 100%. I recommend you to countless people. I love you, David S.W.
Hey guys, Archie Luxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.